Unitarian Universalist Church, building community, inspiring growth, creating change. Here in the heart of Kansas City, we come together to create this hour of shared reflection so that we might be renewed in courage for these times and inspired to lives of greater dignity, higher purpose, deeper generosity, and more effective action. May the words and music and images that we offer today nourish our best selves, calling forth abundant wisdom and love, a love that has the power to overcome both loneliness in the heart and oppression in the world. Welcome to our service.
Arise, O stars, all arise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Hensey. I'm a member of All Souls. Whether you're here or watching online, we're glad you're here. Your presence enriches all of us and our time together. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Our tradition is a large tent with room for many beliefs and approaches to the questions that matter. It is our values of inclusion, compassion, and justice that hold us together. We seek to build the beloved community, making room for everyone and creating a world where everyone's needs are met. You may be new here this morning. Welcome. We know that your first time attending a church, you may want to keep a low profile and just check things out quietly. That's great. We're glad you're here. And if you are a visitor and excited to be here and to let us all know that you are, we invite you to raise your hand at this time. Welcome, people. Thank you for enriching all of us with your presence today. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you're welcome here. You're invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome you today. Y'all are in luck. After the service, there is a Sunday Plus lunch, raising money for the Hunger Outreach Team's work. It's wonderful, curated by the Cassidy sisters, Sharon and Diane. Great food, great people. New visitors may pick up a ticket to enjoy lunch on us. Also, Reverend Aaron will offer UU Basics in the library for visitors who want to learn more about our church. You can bring your lunch from the Cassidy sisters with you. There is childcare provided today. Thank you.
Good morning, my friends. It is so good to be back here at All Souls UU. My name is Peter Luckey, and I've been, thanks to you, and especially thanks to the staff. I feel like we're all part of a team. Anthony Edwards and Aaron and all of us so appreciate being invited back. So it's so good to be with you again. We are here, friends, to be centered, to be renewed, to be grounded in that love beyond all loves, to have a deep sense of what it is to be in community in this perilous time. Welcome, my friends. Again, it is great to be here with you this morning.
Our chalice lighting words are by the Reverend Michelle Collins. We light this chalice in honor of the families we build, the circles we choose, and the bonds we shape with care. May this flame remind us that love is the tie that makes us kin. Please stand as you are able and join in the affirmation of our covenant. Then remain standing as we join together in song. Together we affirm, the will is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Love will guide us indeed. Friends, be seated. And at this time, I'd ask all people of all ages, children or however old you are, to come forward. We're going to be playing with some yarn. So come on up. We're going to have fun. Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Hello, testing 1, 2. Oh, there we go. All right, good. Well, look at all of you kids up here today. Wow. Woohoo. This church rocks, and so do you. We're going to talk this morning for a few minutes about connections that we have in our lives, and we're going to do some playing with yarn. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. How many of you have a pet that you love? Raise your hand if you have a pet that you love. Okay. How many of you have a dog in your house? How many of you have a cat? How many of you have a turtle? No?
I have 2 dogs.
You have 2 dogs? Anybody have a lizard?
I have 2 dogs.
You have 2 dogs?
I have 2 dogs.
You have? What are your dogs' names?
Abby, one's called Abby, and the other is Max.
Abby and Max. Yeah. What do you have?
Chica and Wiz.
Chica and Wiz. Tika.
L-I-Z, Chica.
Okay.
L-I-Z,
Liz, Tika. All right. Anybody else have an animal they love? What do you have? You're getting a python for your birthday? Whoa. Are you going to give it a name? Monty. Woohoo! Monty Python. All right. We are rolling today.
My dad has a ball python.
Has a ball python. Anybody else? Did any of you have a spider for a pet? Anybody have a tarantula? No spiders. Okay. So we're going to talk about.
You don't keep Eddie's pet, but you got spiders in your house. Okay, well, somebody just got outed here. All right, so I want you to hold this piece of thread and give it to this person. And I want you to hold this thread. Can you hold this? This is yarn. Look at this beautiful yarn. This is a group in our church called Needle Hearts. Is that right? Is that the name of the group? And I want you to pass this back to people around you. I want everybody to hold on to the thread. And I'm going to hold on to it too. Okay? I want everybody to have the bread. Everybody have a piece of thread that they can hold on to. Can you pass it? Great. And look at it. All these different colors, the rainbow colors. That means that everybody is loved and is welcomed here. Does everybody have the thread? All right. See this thread? Do you feel it? Tug it a little bit. Tug it. Don't tug it too hard, so we're doing a tug-of-war. But feel that tug? That thread and that tug, that's the connection that we feel and that you feel with your animals, your dogs, your cats. That's the connection we feel with our friends. That's the connection we feel when we're on a team together. It's the connection we feel when we're in church and we feel we're all connected in love. The most important thing in our lives is that we have this thread that connects us and that holds us together. And so we never feel alone. Does everybody have the thread? Okay, you're holding it? All right, now the count of 3, I want you all to tug, right? 1, 2, 3, tug. Woo, man, does that feel strong? Okay, so I am going to send you out to your class today, but never forget the thread that connects us and ties us all together. Now it's time to go to class, and we're going to sing the song and then sing our children out.
Beauty be the blessing of your nights and days. Truth on your lips and kindness in your deeds. Faith to follow where the human spirit leads.
There's supposed to be a step that isn't here, and I'm not supposed to touch the microphone. So I've already violated 2 things. I hope you can see me. My name is Joanne Spillman, and it's my privilege to represent the board today in asking for your generous donation. In the past, when I've done this, I've always been rather practical. I basically listed what needed to be repaired or what bills needed to be paid, and that's pretty much how I tried to persuade you to be generous. But a number of my friends on the board have suggested that I do something a little more serious and talk about why this church is important, why I'm a member. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to come back to the bills at the end. I joined All Souls probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Came to the service as a visitor, didn't want to come, but I owed it to my friends. About halfway through the first sermon, I decided I would join. I had suddenly found a religious community that made sense. I knew what I wanted in a religious community, a place to ask serious religious questions and not be given prepackaged answers I could not believe. And here was a place to ask religious questions. Nobody seemed at all concerned that I'm a humanist. I was welcomed. I also needed to be called to a higher purpose. I needed to hear that challenge on a regular basis, and I hear it from those who preach from this pulpit. I wanted to be able to make at least some small contribution towards social justice, and the HOT program, the Hunger Outreach Team, lets me do that for a few hours every week. However small my contribution, it makes a difference. Reverend Aaron said, about a month ago, I think, that when she was a young person, she found most acceptance, and she found that she was safest in her Unitarian Universalist church. When I was a young person, I wasn't in a Unitarian church. I was definitely not accepted, and I definitely did not feel safe as I heard the warnings about sin and damnation. So, these are some of the reasons, some of the things I sought that I found here at All Souls. Higher purpose, serious religious questions, an opportunity to serve justice. They're the reasons I value All Souls, and I hope you will value All Souls as much. However, being a pragmatic person, I really do have to mention the bills. I'm on the board. I know stuff. Including 3 things I'm worried about. I'm only going to talk about one of them. We are being battered by inflation, and we have received an astonishingly high bill for our church insurance. It appears the insurance company thinks we have a palatial church. I sometimes think they confuse us with St. Peter's in Rome, but we're here and not there. This isn't unique. It's happening to churches all over the country. And churches don't have much choice because there are not a lot of insurance companies that insure churches, and they're dropping churches. They're dropping churches. So we can't poke them too much, but we are looking for another insurance company. I don't think we're going to find one. I may be wrong. The members of the board may forgive me for that comment. So we've got some bills. Now you may say, isn't this the same board that proudly proclaimed that we had balanced the budget last year? And we did. We did. And we didn't expect the insurance bill to triple. So bluntly, we need money. I hope you will generously donate to this real need. Thank you. I think I'm supposed to now say that the collection will be taken, graciously received, and we hope it is generous. That's not the way I'm supposed to say it, but that's as close as I can come. Thank you.
Please join me in the dedication to the offering. We dedicate our offerings and our actions to the mission at the heart of this congregation, to build a respectful, caring community, to inspire personal and spiritual growth, and create change towards just and compassionate society.
The Way It Is by William Stafford. There's a thread, excuse me, there's a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. People wonder what you are pursuing. You have to explain about the thread, but it is hard for others to see. While you hold it, you can't get lost. Tragedies happen. People get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Nothing you can do can stop time's unfolding. You don't ever let go of the thread.
What if I told you you weren't alone here? What if you told me the same? What if I said to you, well, hello there, as our bodies bumped on the train? I think that life would be much sweeter with someone to stand beside. And if we all took the hand of a stranger, then no one would have to hide. Wrists and fingers, nails and palms and thumbs melt together in the sun. Our hearts would twist like sugar spun, and we'll all breathe through one big lung. We will sing as one. It just makes sense. Why should anyone feel lonely when we got these big bleeding hearts? So perfect for loving. And if we walk in the shoes of a stranger, we'll be standing in the same big boat. And if we all stroke together, then all the people stay afloat. Wrists and fingers, nails and palms thumbs melt together in the sun. Our hearts would twist like sugar spun, and we'll all breathe through one big lung. We will sing as one, melt together in the sun. Our hearts would twist like sugar spun, and we'll all breathe through one big lung. We will be as one.
We will be as one. Thank you, Shanna. Thank you. And thank you for the water. Well, friends, you probably know me by now, but before we begin, let us just take a moment to breathe and kind of breathe out all the anxiety of the world and breathe in the freshness of the Spirit. When you inhale, perhaps you think of the word peace, and when you exhale, think of the word gratitude. Inhale peace, exhale gratitude. Peace to you all. There's a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. And as long as you hold it, you can't get lost. Do you have a thread that you follow in your life? And if so, what is it? Perhaps it's your life purpose. Perhaps it's your inner why. Perhaps it's a baton that's been handed to you to run your race, that it's your destiny, that it's your fate to follow your thread. And it's hard to explain what it is to other people, but there are times when you know exactly what your thread is. You feel it in your hand, a story, a song, a memory. I'll tell you about a time, a memory that I have when I felt that thread so securely in my fingers. I was October of 2008, and I was sitting on the floor of an orphanage in India, surrounded by dozens of children. I had gone to India partly with the purpose of going to see a child. Her name is Saranya, that her family had sponsored. We thought it'd be great for our boys to have a pen pal relationship with someone on the other side of the world. Her photo hung on a refrigerator door. I never imagined in my life that I would see her in person. And here she was, and I felt the warmth of her little body leaning against mine. We were singing "Give Thanks" with a grateful heart, and my heart was melting into a puddle of grace and gratitude. I couldn't believe it. I had to pinch myself to say, this is real. This child. I'm seeing her in person. Not only that, but she's embraced me. I wanted so much to be her dad. here across thousands of miles between India and the United States, across all these cultural barriers and divides and backgrounds. And here I was with Saranya, nestled at my side, singing Give Thanks with a Grateful Heart on the floor of an orphanage outside of Chennai, India. It was in that moment as if the giver of the thread of love was given to me, and that the call was to go and to bring and spread joy and love throughout the world. So, you ask, who is the giver of that thread? Now here, my friends, and I'm looking at Jill Jarvis right now because, Jill, you were helping me become a Unitarian Universalist. Thanks be to God. Oops, sorry. It just spilled out of my mouth. But I am learning that the giver of the thread giver, is you can call her many names. You can say it's the Spirit. You can say it's a presence. You can say it is the love beyond all loves, the giver of this thread. And this Spirit, I believe this in my heart of hearts, is in every human being, if human beings are open to it. Remember, a couple months ago, I shared with you Thierry de Chardin, who said these words beautifully: we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. That Spirit is in all of us. And not only us, but it's in all of creation, right? It's in trees and flowers and lakes and ponds and oceans and waterfalls, in animals, and the pets that our children were talking about this morning. Monty Python, woo! It's in all of us. It's in the sound of the wind whirling through the pine needles. It's in the fragrant smell of balsam. A couple of weeks ago, my wife and I were up in northern Minnesota on a lake, just a few miles from Canada. We thought of making a run for it. And every day we would hear the loons call, that haunting wild call. How many of you have heard loons in your life? Okay. That unforgettable echo as it goes across the lake, that echoing of those loons. It's just this beautiful, haunting sound. And for me, it was a reminder that this thread that's given to us, this thread of love, it's not always mushy and soft. Yes, it's tender like a child leaning against me, but this love is also wild. And this love is also fierce. And this love is a love that stands its ground and stands up and says no to the wrongs of the world because it's saying yes to what is right in the world. What do you think? Should we go there, my friends? All right. We are living in unprecedented times. Every day, the news is overwhelming. And it's hard to make sense of what's happening in our world today. But I will tell you this. Through all the muck of what's coming at us every day, there's one thing to me that when the muck clears away, that's crystal clear. And that is that they, and you being specific about they, the powers and principalities that be, are taking a sledgehammer to humanity. Car windows being smashed by ICE police. Terrified immigrants hovering inside. And just imagine for a moment that somebody you knew, a relative of yours, maybe somebody with the same skin color as Saranya in India, our sponsored child. Maybe somebody was on their way to pick up their kids at school, and then suddenly they were abducted and deported. And suppose it was somebody that you loved and somebody that had a medical condition and you didn't know how you could reach them and you didn't know how you could offer them the medical help that they needed. Imagine being in a situation like that. 300,000 deportations by ICE alone in this year, 2025. And I say, not in our name. A sledgehammer being taken to humanity, and not just immigrants, but to pregnant women about to give birth in Africa to a child when USAID and foreign aid is cut. Here at home, food taken out of hungry mouths with a cut of SNAP benefits and food stamp programs, with a meat cleaver being taken to cut the cord between human beings and access to their health care with cuts in Medicaid. And I say, and we say, not in our name. And with institutions and our laws and everything that twines our civilization together and keeps us and creates a net so they don't fall into our Darwinian survival of the fittest hellhole, it's now being ripped asunder. And can you say with me, not in our name? And all of this destruction, my friends, under the pretense of religion, invoking Scripture in the name of Jesus, but never the Spirit of Jesus. Nothing about the Sermon on the Mount where he said, blessed are the poor and blessed are the meek. Nothing about Matthew chapter 5 when Jesus said, inasmuch as you have done to the least of these, you have done to me. Everything in service to power and nothing in service to love. And let us say again, friends, we are, like it or not, thrust now into a battle of love versus hate, truth versus lies, human decency and human dignity versus power for power's sake and cruelty for cruelty's sake. Say it one more time. Now here's the thing. I know that many of us want to just tune it all out. Every day the news brings a story that's grimmer than the last, and we can feel the despair creeping into our bones. You know, my wife and I thought twice, maybe we should run for Canada. And there are times when we doubt whether this thread of life is real. We doubt if there's any real love at all. We doubt whether there's ever a spirit and whether there's ever a presence in this world. And maybe all this world is this Darwinian pit of survival, dog eat dog. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just, in the words of Shakespeare's, sound and fury, signifying nothing. It is very tempting to let ourselves fall into a pit of despair, is it not? But here's the thing. If we give in to despair, they win. Now, I've got some good news to share with you. And the good news is right here in this room, here at All Souls this morning, that you are here, that we are here together, you and I together, because you would not be here if you did not, in some deep sense in your heart of hearts, know that you needed this community. And you know, as well as I do, that there's no community that's perfect. There's no family that's perfect, because they're made up of human beings. And may I say this and be so bold to say this now that I've been here for a little while, the souls that make up all souls, yes, they are flawed because every community is flawed. And sometimes we get in the way of our own egos and our own opinions because we are people. But here's the thing. How many of you have found in this community the sacred, have found here the holy? How many of you have come here and found your thread strengthened because you were twining your thread together with others and suddenly you felt stronger and you didn't feel alone anymore? right to Shanna's song this morning. How many of you have come here and found the light? And yes, the light comes through imperfect communities, because Leonard Cohen says there's a crack in the middle of everything, and that's how the light gets in. You're finding other people, companions on the journey, and your thread is strengthened, and you're hearing that invitation that together we can entwine our threads together, and we can form a beautiful Afghan like this, or create a rainbow of love. But it takes all of our threads coming together to create that rainbow, that tapestry of love, of light, and of truth. And so we will sing in just a few moments that Peter, Paul, and Mary song. And my God, we need some songs for this time, like we had songs in the 60s. And I am dating myself, I realize that. But please, friends, weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. And weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. And fill my cup again. And All Souls has been doing that for 170 years, weaving the sunshine out of the falling rain. I love hearing the story about the founding of All Souls back in the 1860s, when people of like minds came together. Of like minds, believing and knowing that slavery was an abomination, this venal institution that treated human beings like chattel. Again, the attack on humanity then as it is today. These people came together. They saw the Confederacy building itself on the Missouri doorstep and came together and formed this community to be a hub of the abolitionist spirit, of humanity, of freedom. Those people that came together. And those people that came together saw how ministers were twisting themselves into pretzels, trying to justify slavery as being ordained by God. Ministers that would pass over the heart of the gospel message and instead cherry-pick texts like this one's from Colossians 3:22, when it says that slaves should obey their earthly masters. And those people called that truth, but it was not. It was a lie. It was not true at all. And through the years, the 1860s and the 1960s, you and this congregation have stood and together strong for fierce love, stood for truth. And during the 60s, Reverend Bragg supported civil rights and voter registration for Black Americans, and he received death threats and threatening phone calls. That's fierce love. In the 1970s, All Souls rented space to the Metropolitan Community Church, founded to serve the LGBTQ plus community. In the early 90s, All Souls had an LGBT group, renamed itself Interweave. How appropriate for this morning. And All Souls became a welcoming congregation. Together, we can weave together a strong web of fierce love. What's the strong web of fierce love that we're being called to weave today? It may mean that we become a dynamic school of revolutionary love, in the words of Brian McLaren. It may mean when Trump supporters scapegoat and dehumanize immigrants, we find ways to perturb, protect, humanize, and serve them in love. It may mean that we take to the streets and stand up and show up and speak out. It may mean that we discover our own acts of resistance in less high-profile ways. Some of us showing up with casseroles, some of us volunteering, getting more involved in the life of All Souls Church, signing up, showing up, pushing back against the fear, the isolation, and the division. So that's good news. We've got each other. And here's even better news. Even and especially in those moments when we feel like we have lost our thread, in those moments, never doubt the presence of the Spirit, of that presence, of that thread of love, which is our compass and our guide and our North Star and the dictates of our conscience. And that Spirit will give us strength, will give us courage to do the work that we are being asked to do. To be a voice for powerless love in a world of loveless power. It is fierce and it is strong, this love, my friends, this bond that we share, this connection with each other. It is fierce and it is strong and it will sustain us. So what are we saying today? We're saying, number one, the thread is real. The thread is real as the warmth of Saranya's little body nestled up to mine. Number two, that the thread is love and that love is fierce and calls us to be engaged in the world. And number three, this community will sustain our spirits and together make our threads as strong as they ever can be. So today I'm saying never, ever let go of the thread. Peace.
Stand as you're able and sing as you're able. We're going to sing We Need the Sunshine.
Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow and fill my cup again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow and fill my cup again. They say that the tree of loving shine on me again, grows on the bank of the river of suffering, shine on me again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow and fill my cup again. Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow and fill my cup again.
Weave me the sunshine out of the falling rain. Weave me the hope of a new tomorrow. Fill my cup again. My friends, go forward from this place. And my assignment to you this week is share with somebody what your thread is in your life. And see what you learn. Go forward from this place, my friends, and be strong and be of good courage. And fear not, for the Spirit, the giver of the thread, is with you always. Peace.